Welcome to the second episode of Tomahawk Sports Talk for the 2022-2023 school year. I'm Ashley Button, joined by Christian Pinneman and Ethan Lamb.
And today we'll talk about boys and girls wrestling.
And boys and girls basketball. All this and more coming up on Tomahawk Sports Talk.
Come into Toscano's in Buckner, Missouri for their $32.99 prime rib special, only on Monday nights. Get a thick cut of prime rib with mashed potatoes, your choice of vegetables, and your choice of salad. Come get it before it's gone.
Welcome back. We're going to start off with our team talk. And the first team we're going to be talking about is girls wrestling. Ethan, I know you have some stats for them for us.
Yeah, girls wrestling did really well this season, having a lot of people make all conference, including those people being Aroma Marufo, first team all conference were Aroma Marufo, Kylie Dunn, Alina Wackerman, Allison Kramer, Kaylee McGrath, Haley Ward, Taylor Hillbrand, and then the second team all conference was Michaela Stickler, Princess Mueller, and Emily Flore, who we'll get to in a bit. An honorable mention, Becca Marlowe and Bailey Wood. All those girls did great this season. Christian, you said Emily Flore had a great season.
Yeah, Emily Flore had a good season. She went 35-17 in her career as a high school wrestler, and she had 31 pins, and that's really good. And her, Haley Ward, Aroma Marufo, Kayla McGrath, and Bailey Wood all went to state, and they qualified for state, and they had 7th place overall as a team, and that's the best record, or it broke the record for the school, so that's good.
Yeah, for talking about Bailey Wood, she got 3rd place at districts, and which qualified her for state. She went 31-16 on the season, so she had a pretty good season, but unfortunately she wasn't able to finish in state because she did suffer an injury, but that doesn't take away from the fact that she had a really good season.
Yeah, Kaylee McGrath was another one who we'd like to mention here. She had a really great season here. She placed 5th against in state against Georgia Johnson from Winnetonka. Had a great fight there, but she at least placed, so that was great on her part. And she's got one more year under her belt.
So now we're going to talk about boys wrestling.
Yeah, and for boys wrestling, 14 people got recognized for the Greater Kansas City Suburban Conference Red Division, with 106-pounder Kaysen Schreier, 113-pounder Tony Martinez, 120-pounder Ryan Rodriguez, 138-pounder Rylan Mansfield, 150-pounder Colby Gray, 175-pounder Isaac Ward, 190-pounder Isaac Fields, 215-pounder Gavin Gallman, and they received first team all conference. And 144-pounder Grayson Moore received second team, with Austin Perkins, 126 pounds, 132-pounder Joseph Hunt, 157-pounder Paxton Anka, 165-pounder Linus Velder, and 285-pounder Preston Bashir receiving honorable mention. And the boys team placed 16th place overall at state with 2 individual medals. Kaysen Schreier, Colby Gray, which he placed 4th, and then Rylan Mansfield placing 5th, with Tony Martinez, Grayson Moore, Isaac Ward, and Gavin Gallman qualifying for the boys team as well.
I'd like to mention about boys wrestling is they had Coach Wackerman. He was the Class 4, District 4 Coach of the Year, and that's a big high honor for him, especially since how long he's been coaching these boys for a long time. And there was also Assistant Coaching Staffing of the Year, so 2 awards more for Fort Osage under the wrestling title.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's obvious that the coaching staff worked hard and were amazing for the team because they had 7 people qualify for state, which is really good. After this break, we're going to talk about girls and boys basketball.
Advance Auto Parts offers top quality automotive parts and is where you will find quality CarQuest parts. Take advantage of their free wiper blade installation and visit the 4 Independence locations. Open 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday.
Welcome back. The girls basketball team went 12-13 this season, which is the best record they've had since 2014. So they've had a pretty good season and one of the best ones yet. Christian, do you have some stats on them?
Yeah, the key players were Macy Smith, Ashlyn Button, Nikki Bisbee, and McKenna Simons. And their best game was against Oak Park, and they won 58-36 with their everywhere field goal percentage being 51 and their three-point percentage being 24 with also 13 assists. And basketball, that's all it's about, is getting assists, and to have 13 in a game, that's pretty good, especially in high school.
Yeah, I really feel like that was one of our best games that we had all season. Just feels like we couldn't miss in that game. And Ethan, do you want to talk about the honors?
Yeah, for the Greater Kansas City Suburban Conference, Ashlyn Button and Nikki Bisbee both got honorable mentions, and Macy Smith made second team all-conference, so that's great to hear about her and ending it off with a bang for her final season.
Yeah, I agree. Now we're going to talk about boys basketball. Christian, you were on the boys basketball team, so you want to talk about your teammates?
Yeah, we had an overall 8-17 record. Our key players were Chase Dunful, Isaac Woodward, Jax Navarro, and Cruz Navarro. And Ethan, you want to talk about our best game a little bit?
The best game was against Truman in an amazing comeback. Truman blowing a big lead at the end of the third and fourth. Everywhere they were everywhere the field goal percentage was 54%, with shooting 40% three-pointers, and they had 20 assists in the game. And Chase Dunful was on it that night with 11 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists. Jax Navarro also being on it. Jackson Cruz being like a dynamic duo that night with 15 points and 4 rebounds. Cruz Navarro with 21 points and 4 three-pointers. I remember those. Those were big key moments. And Isaac Woodward in the paint getting up there with 10 points and 5 rebounds. So that, and the best highlight you had, Christian, was when what did you say?
Like we swung the ball around and we set a lot of screens to find open Jax Navarro for a three-pointer on the wing, and I feel like that was our key highlight to get the game back to our flow so that we could win that game.
And for the boys, their honors were junior Cruz Navarro. He had honorable mention, and then second team was sophomore Isaac Woodward. And I feel like the boys' record as 8-17 is not, the best, but I feel like it didn't really represent them because they had a lot of close games, and they also had a lot of really good competition and teams that they were playing that went pretty far in districts and stuff like that.
Yeah, and senior Chase Dunful broke the school record for assists in the season with 140, and he also owns the record for the most assists in a career with 241. So to have someone on your team like that is really good. He can pass the ball, he can score the ball, he can really do anything for your team.
Yeah, that's huge. That's great for him.
After this break, we're going to talk about our athletes of the season.
Craig Pulver once said, "A customer knows good value when they taste it." And that statement holds true when tasting Culver's delicious Wisconsin cheese curds. Come in or carry out and let Culver's welcome you to deliciousness.
Welcome back. Ethan, do you want to start us off with your athletes?
Yeah, so for my athletes of the season, I had, starting off with boys, I had Cruz Navarro. He made 93 field goals this season, 31 of them being two-pointers and 62 three-pointers on the season. He's only a junior, and so he's still got one more under his belt. He could probably up the notch on that one, and scoring over 256 points overall with 18 steals. Like you said, Christian, him and Jax that night being the dynamic duo going back and forth. I mean, this clip here of him with the fadeaway step back, just straight up three-point, and great shot there by Cruz. I mean, love to see it. And then for my female athlete, I picked, I had to go with Haley Ward. She had a phenomenal senior year, 51-0, absolute GOAT, probably the best athlete to ever have been in Fort Osage. 4-for-4 state champ. She only wrestled 29 minutes and 21 seconds this season, in her entire season. And she averaged about 58 seconds per match, and she had 40 pins overall. So that, if that doesn't prove anything, and then I don't know what does. But she also, the farthest she went was like in her final match at state, where she went the full 7 rounds, and it was great to see. So yeah.
Yeah, those are some really amazing athletes. Christian, do you want to talk to us about yours?
Yeah, my athletes, my boy is 150 weight division is Colby Gray, and he had a high school record of 72-23 with 22 pins and 18 techs. He received second place in the boys Class 4 district tournament, and he won his first 2 matches by fall in less than 3 minutes each, and then he won his third match with the 5-2 decision, and he lost his final match to Colby McLean with the 5-1 decision. And then he received 4th place in state, and my favorite highlight of Colby this season was during his championship first match when he won 19-3 by tech fall with less than 5 minutes left on the clock to defeat Tyler Updike. and he just stayed in control the whole match, and you can just see how he muscled his way through and just like he was stronger than his opponent that day, and you could definitely see that. And then my girl was Macy Smith, and she went 128 out of 313 from field goal, and so that's 41%. And then she was 24% from the three-point and 62% from free throws. So she was really good at free throws, it seems like, especially in high school. It's kind of hard to shoot free throws, especially with the crowd. And she had 136 rebounds with 40 assists. And my favorite highlight of Macy this season was against Oak Park, where she drove in against 3 people and she shot a layup over 1 person. And it was just a physical play, and she worked really hard to get that basket.
Yeah, those are some really amazing athletes, Christian. For my athletes, I chose 2 wrestlers. My first wrestler is Roma Marufo. She had a 41-2 record this season. She placed second at state in the 110 weight class. She got first place in districts, first place in conference, and she won just multiple tournaments that she competed in her division. And you can just tell she's a really good wrestler from this clip here, how she takes down her opponent, and she's just really strong. And then for my boy, I chose Riley Mansfield. He had a 48-10 record, who also went to state, and he got 5th, and he was a district champ and conference champ. And he's also just another really good athlete. And they're only juniors, so they still have a whole another year left just to be even better next year and do even better. And that's all for the second episode of Tomahawk Sports Talk. I'm Ashton Button.
I'm Christian Penniman.
And I'm Ethan Lamb. Thanks for watching.